Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube. I am going to run you through a full body workout as a runner and lifter today. I'm going to go through the specifics, why I do certain exercises, and the purpose of them, why I do them, what are the benefits, what do they work. So I'm going to go through all of that for you. So yeah, that's exciting. We'll film that today and I'm so excited because I really want to provide a little bit more value to my page. I just wanted to say, and just like stop this vlog for a second, and I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody that has subscribed and the love that I've received on YouTube. I am a small page and every subscribe, every like, every comment I do see, and I appreciate it so much. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. I have used and watched YouTube for such a long time, and this year was the year, oh my god, I'm getting like gunky eyes. This year is the year I decided I'm gonna create my own stuff as well as continue watching my faves, but I'm gonna like create my own, and I'm gonna, you know, provide my value because I have been like lifting and been in the gym, and I've got so many different experiences and different evolutions that I've gone through in terms of a fitness journey, and I'm gonna share that and hopefully provide some value. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much if you have liked and subscribed. If you haven't, hey, please hit the like and subscribe because it does mean a lot. Now let's get into this video. I'm so excited for this one. Before I get started on the main session, I do a full body warm up. If you want to see what that full body warm up entails, I'll put a link at the end so you can go and watch that afterwards. But for now, I'm just going to move into the first exercise. What I'm doing here is starting with a warm-up set. This is where the weight is a little bit lighter. I'm getting used to the movement, making sure my feet are in the right position before I add weight and go into my working sets. During a full body session, I do tend to work with a lower body movement, something that is more of a compound, so using multiple joints, multiple muscle groups. This is because at the beginning of the workout, we've got the most energy, the least fatigue, so doing a lower body movement such as a box squat is going to be more taxing. There is a difference between box squats and squat to box, so I'm just going to go into the differences now. Squat to boxes are a great exercise for beginners, somebody who's learning how to barbell squat. And it's basically you're using the box or a bench as a way to practice the depth of a squat. So it's a really touch and go movement. A box squat, however, simply put, is coming down to the box intentionally, pausing, and then going back up again. Common mistake I see people do is rocking on the box. So what you can see is they're stopping in the position. As you can see, I'm stopping in that position and then I'm driving up from the same position. I'm not rocking backwards and gaining momentum because the aim of the box squat is to break the eccentric and concentric chain, so it develops starting strength. This is great as a runner, particularly if you're a shorter distance runner or you are trying to recruit more power and speed. As a runner and lifter myself, my goal is to be stronger, fitter and faster. So I like to use the box squat in my programming because there is a higher posterior chain engagement. Those are muscles such as your hamstrings, your glutes, your rectus spinae, so basically the muscles at the back of your body. When we run, these muscles are also highly engaged, so by making our posterior chain stronger, we're going to become stronger, fitter, more efficient runners as well. It also means that if those muscles are stronger, but they're also being used a lot, you're going to have a much reduced risk of injury. It is important to note, although there's more posterior chain engagement in a box squat, we are still working our quads as well. So they are getting hit. Obviously, what we want to do when we are creating a training program is making sure that we are strengthening all muscle groups so the quads are still being hit in this movement. If you are somebody who prefers to just squat without the box, without doing any box squats, there still may be a place in your programming for this. So for example, if you've hit a plateau in your strength training and you're always failing, your sticking point is kind of that bottom movement, by adding the box squat in and pausing, this can help with that and improve your strength in that position, and therefore getting rid of that sticking point and improving your strength over time. So a few pointers about the box squat before I move on to the next exercise is making sure that when we're coming down nice in a controlled manner. We're not rocking backwards, we're not lifting our feet off the ground to gain that extra momentum. We're pausing, we're breaking that eccentric concentric chain and then driving upwards to restart that movement. So now moving on to a push press. Now when I'm working full body, what I like to do is work a lower body movement, an upper body movement, or if I'm doing an upper body movement, I'll work one area of my upper body, so a push movement where you're primarily working your chest and your shoulders and triceps, and then the next one would be more of a pull movement where I'm working my back or my bicep muscles primarily. So we're moving on to the push press next, where that is focused on the chest muscles, the triceps and your delts or your shoulder muscles. By going from one muscle group to the next, as opposed to just going legs, 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 chest, 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 back, 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 we're giving ourselves time to rest and recover. So that muscle group, so whilst I'm working my upper body, my lower body muscles that I've just worked are getting a little bit of a rest. Now in the push press, we do have a bit of a hip drive in this movement, so lower body is getting worked a little bit, but we're still using a lot more of our upper body movement as well. Why I program the push press in my training at the moment when I am running and lifting, so that hybrid style. Studies suggest that the explosive extension of the hips, knees and ankle joints in the push press can improve movements like sprinting, jumping and changing directions quickly. I'm going to use a couple examples here. So if you think about a hyrox race, you are constantly having to dodge people, especially in burpees. You might have to jump around somebody, you might have to overtake another runner, you are changing directions, you're coming into the rock zone, you're going out of the rock zone as well. You're going in and out of the farmer's carry, so you're always changing direction. So it's really important that we do have strong stability in those key areas. If we think about if you're road running, especially if you're in a city, you're often running around people, dodging people, maybe you're running past a really large run club. You're also going up and down pavements as well. Having that stability and helping you change direction is really important and will help us stay injury free. And then say if you're somebody who lives in the country like me and you have more trail runs, then again, it is so important to make sure that we have really strong muscles around those joints as well, because we might be jumping over puddles of mud, moving around different rocks, whatever your terrain is, it's going to be important. So if we're building those muscles and making sure that's strong, that's going to carry over in our runs. So as a runner and a female, it's really important that we do have a strong upper body. Your upper body plays a big role in maintaining balance and stability during your runs. If you have a weak upper body and a weak core, what's going to happen is you're going to tend to lean more forwards, have a bit more of like an excessive lean, or you might have a slouch when you run, which will make you a less efficient runner. You're going to get tired more quickly as well. So what we want to do is making sure when we're running, we've got a strong core, we're nice and upright, and we are driving like this. Okay, so we've got what's important in that then is obviously back muscles, our core muscles. We know we've got to have power in our chest to be able to drive. So we do need to be training our upper body as well as our lower body as well as running and lifting. Not only will this keep you strong, it's going to help you with a more efficient stride and injury-free. The next two exercises are unilateral movements, an absolute must in my eyes if you are a hybrid training. With a unilateral movement, it basically means that you're working one side at a time. That doesn't mean that one side isn't getting worked at all. Obviously, a lot of the time we're still stabilizing ourselves in the movement, so our muscles are still worked, but the primary focus is on one side. A key tip with a unilateral movement is work your weaker side first and then match the same number of reps on the other side. We're using unilateral movements to try and reduce an imbalance in our muscles, so making sure that we're actually matching the reps on each side is important, and knowing that we do have one side that typically tends to be a little bit stronger than the other, it's important that we do that weaker side first, get that number of reps that can go to, and then match it on the other side. And like I said, the main purpose of a unilateral movement is to reduce muscle imbalance. When we train a movement bilaterally, so something like a squat or a bent over row, there can be places where those weaker muscles tend to hide and your more dominant side will take over. It is natural to have one side more dominant than the other, because if we think about everyday movements, you know, there's likely one side that you always have your bag on, or there's one side that you maybe write with or use your mouse with. So it is natural to have a little bit of an imbalance, but we want to reduce that as much as possible in order for us to reduce our risk of injury and to balance out that strength. You don't want to be that person that's got like one arm that's like leaving them behind. So as I mentioned, incorporating unilateral movements is an absolute must in my eyes. I like to do it for my upper body and my lower body, and I will rotate this throughout my programming cycle. So following the principle of working different muscles, up next we've got a single arm row, so a unilateral movement, but we're also working our back and biceps primarily in this one. I am such a big fan of this
exercise at the moment. It's just a really big fave. I'm really enjoying doing it, so it's something that's going to stay in my program. I do think it's really important that as well as we try to optimize our training and include stuff that is important to carry over to our running or our outside everyday lives, it's still important to make sure you are enjoying your training. Exercise and health is something to be enjoyed, so make sure you are doing stuff that you find fun or make you feel good or empowered. So for the time being, the single arm row is that for me. What you can see here is that I actually, with my bench, I set up the front upwards slightly. This has given me more stability. I can hold on nice and tightly, keep my core nice and tight. I've got a nice neutral spine, and that just means that I'm nice and stable. So when I'm rowing, that elbow is going nice and backwards into the hips as well. And that's when we drive our elbow more into our hips, we're going to get more lats engagement, as opposed to if you were going upwards into the ceiling, it's more upper back. I like to work a little bit more lats for aesthetic reasons. All right, next up we have split squats, the exercise that no one wants to see in their program, but I'm going to tell you why it's really important if you are hybrid training. Here is why I love split squats and this style of split squats in a training program. When we're running, it's important to note that your two legs and your arms are always going in opposing directions to each other. So when one hip is flexing, the other is extending, and vice versa. Performing a typical bilateral squat will build strength, but this doesn't mimic the movement of a stride. The split squat, however, does achieve this. So with some regular practice, split squats will help you improve your stride length by getting you working more efficiently from the hips. Another important factor is stability. When we're running, we are only ever supported on one leg, or you might even be moving mid-air. It's important that your exercise program does mimic this and helps strengthen that, not just in the gym, but when we're kind of going outside onto our runs. By incorporating exercises that mimic the ability to remain stable, we are going to improve that. Over time, as stability improves, you can progress onto single leg squats, but that might be something for a little bit more advanced runners. For now, starting off at split squats is a perfect way to get that mimic of stability and the hip extension and vice versa. And to finish this session, I am currently finishing with a little bit of a spicy superset. So I love supersets when they are working the opposing muscle groups, because it's a great way to save time, especially if you are somebody who is busy. So when we're working one muscle group, so for example, I've got banded chin-ups, so we're working again those back and biceps muscles. It's a pull movement, and I've paired this with dumbbell push-ups, which is something that will work mainly your chest, triceps, and delts. So they're working opposing muscle groups. So when I'm doing the chin-ups, my muscles that I work in my push-ups are resting. When I'm doing my push-ups, the primary muscles in the chin-ups are resting. So that means I can still be giving as much as I can in those working sets, as opposed to just say doing a bent over row and then pairing it with a chin up. I'm just exhausting the back muscles. So that is my full body workout as a hybrid athlete. If you would be interested in seeing what my full body B workout looks like, where I have the exercise that every runner should be doing, then let me know in the comments. If you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like. If everybody that watched my videos subscribed, we'd be on 1,000 subscribers by now, so please consider subscribing. Also, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. On Instagram, I put up daily stories and have lots of different food inspos and other sort of more behind the scenes. So you can find me over there. Please do say hello. I am somebody that follows back and says hello. To summarize on this video, if the goal is running, you should be lifting weights, and you should be lifting weights with intensity and intention. Unilateral movements not only reduce imbalances and reduce risk of injury, but they also improve stability and make you more of an efficient runner. You should absolutely be training upper body as a runner. It's important to stop that forward lean and slouch, and again, making you a more efficient runner and reducing energy wasted. You can absolutely run far and lift a lot, something I am doing at the moment. Most importantly, do whatever you enjoy. I'm at the point in my life where I've been in the gym for 14 years now. I've worked on aesthetics, I've competed as a sprinter, and now I just really want to do what makes me feel good, what makes me feel empowered, which is focusing on getting stronger, getting faster, getting fitter. I want to run far and I want to be strong. And I want to be fast. So that is what I'm doing. That is my focus, and that is what I enjoy. So make sure you do something that really empowers you, makes you stronger, and something that you enjoy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope this is recorded.